Previously on UFC Primetime.
It's meant for Jake to be an underdog. I think that's another part of that fuel that makes him who he is.
He's been in the spotlight the last few years while I've been on the sidelines, not getting the respect. He's going to be the next guy going down into my legacy.
I think GSP is a phenomenal athlete. I think you got to make it a war with him, and I think you got to see what's inside of his soul.
I put too much sacrifice, too much effort into this to lose it.
This is the biggest fight of his life. And because he thinks like that, he trains like that. The second you're like, believing the hype of, I'm going to walk over Jake Shields, well, then Jake Shields is going to walk all over you.
Jake does what's unexpected, and I expect him to win this fight.
I want to be the guy to stop the great GSP, and I'm ready for absolute war.
Arriving from New York City to oversee today's workout at Grant Brothers Boxing Gym is Muay Thai master Phil Nurse.
There we go. He knows that people are gunning for him all the time. Every time someone sees George win, they're looking for what's the weakness. And everybody does have a weakness. But George's weaknesses are very few. Jake is able to go into deep waters, but don't disregard George either. George goes into deep waters too. So both of them going into deep waters, who wants it the most? George does. Who's got the better techniques? In my view, George has. Who's got the better stand-up? To me, George has. Who's got the better jiu-jitsu? George does to me too. And Howard was saying some of the things that you've worked on, you've not even done them in fights yet. And I know there's things we worked on you're not done in fights yet. So there's so much, you use it when the timing's right. If the timing's not right, you don't use the move. But when it's right, you use it. It's gonna hurt. George is always going to be evolving. This is what people fail to see. They think that, this is the best George. He's always evolving. I'm excited with how George is movement. I'm 150 pounds. And when I train with my fighters, I use my speed at 150 pounds. So when I shoot on him and when I try to spring on him and surprise him, and he's alert to it and he gets out of the way, that tells me he's on point. He's never satisfied with just being, okay, I'm here. He always wants to be better, and striving for that better is what makes George St Pierre George St Pierre.
For a national hero with a title fight looming, quiet moments are sparse. As the frenzy builds 300 miles away in Toronto, St Pierre enjoys a rare moment away from the spotlight.
When you fought Koscheck, I think it was 24,000. And I think when you fought Sarah, it's 22,000.
Now it's going to be 55,000.
I can't even imagine it. I'm going to put earplugs. Because if they're going to cheer as loud as like the first time you fought Montreal, that was the loudest I've ever heard a UFC crowd. I had to cover my ears.
I'm nervous, damn it. It is what it is.
The nerves is always good, George. Yeah. It's always good to be nervous.
Yeah.
He's going to be good, but he's in a different league.
Yeah.
It's a different league. He's not fought in this league before. And he seems like a good guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
He's not bad-mouthed anything.
I like him. He's a nice guy, very respected champion. He's just at the wrong time, at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time.
At Tristar this final week of camp are two familiar faces. UFC standouts Nate Marquardt and Kenny Florian have trained alongside St Pierre for years. they now provide a last-minute tune-up.
George is one of the most well-conditioned, if not the most well-conditioned fighter in MMA. He fights hard through the whole fight. He'll be able to do damage and punishment and neutralize whatever he needs to do.
You always have to prepare for anything and everything out there in this sport, and that's why George trains so hard. George has the ability to beat guys at their own game because they're so worried about the other parts of his game. Anytime you can create confusion on the battlefield or in the octagon, you can beat them at their own game. And that's what George St Pierre does better than anybody in the game. And this is going to be another step towards building that legend of George St Pierre.
Now's the point where we're just kind of waiting. Pretty much everything's done that can be done. All the it's a couple more hard training sessions, but I'm pretty much in shape and I feel like I've pretty much done everything that can be done. So it's you know, it's kind of the worst part, just the last week when we just wanted to get out there and fight him.
In these final days of camp, Jake Shields welcomes UFC light heavyweight contender Phil Davis. Davis sparred with Shields 2 weeks ago in San Diego and has come up the coast for some last-minute fine-tuning before fight night on Saturday.
I'm not going to go light on him because he needs to have a realistic view of whatever's going to happen in this fight. He needs to be ready to react and anticipate all the circumstances and all the positions he's going to get himself into in this fight and fight out of them.
I'll call the rotations. One of the last hard sessions we got, so let's put in the work. Everybody good?
You know, a normal practice, once I get someone down on the ground, I'm in control. With Jake, when I get him down to the ground, it's like I lose. It's like I took him down and somehow I lost the point because he's behind me. It's crazy.
Get competition first, Jake.
This guy's an awesome boxer, too.
Look at that,
Division I wrestler.
The waist,
This is impressive.
Nice, Jake. There you go. Flatten him out, flatten him out. Beautiful, that's what you want right there. Keep him flat.
I'm ready to go out there and be the best, you know. It's been a really, really tough camp, but I think everything's gone perfect. Couldn't ask for a better training camp, and I'm ready for the fight.
That's it, Jake. Don't let him get low, Jake. Now hands up all the way. There you go. Time. Good job.
Jake's ready. I've never really trained with someone with his skill set, and that's, you know, great jiu-jitsu guys and great wrestlers. He comes with a completely different mix of skills. He's a great mixed martial artist. He's going to shine, and it's going to be great.
The days leading up to a title bout are always the longest. A fighter is often desperate to escape the grind. But Shields isn't only a fighter, he's a father. And his escape is his 10-year-old daughter, Madison.
Hi, Maddie.
Balancing being a fighter and being a father can be tough at times because we get stuck traveling a lot, and then before the fights we get so much pressure and intensity. Most of the year it's okay, but close to the fights it gets pretty hectic. But I still make sure to, to see her at least a few times a week, which is as much as I would like, but sometimes a few weeks before the fight, that's how it gets.
When Madison was born, Shields was 21 and just beginning his pro career. He has since grown into the world's #1 welterweight contender. With success comes expectation and time spent with his